Hello, my name is Reynaldo Salinas, and today I'm doing my presentation on the business etiquette in China, as in doing business in China. First, I'm going to talk about the overview and the considerations. You will not need vaccination when flying to China, and your passport should not be near expiration. It should have at least 6 months of validity remaining. The US dollars can be easily exchanged at any bank, airport, or post office. Sometimes they even have exchange stores where they just exchange any type of currency that you have. You can exchange it for some Chinese yuan, and the official language of China is Standard Chinese. It is known as Putonghua, which is a form of Mandarin. But now a greater number of people are starting to learn English. Millions and millions of people are starting to learn English, so don't let the language barrier be a burden. And China has the largest population of any country. It has 1.3 billion people and it's highly growing. It makes up 20% of the world's population. So don't be surprised when you go to China that the streets are crowded, there's cars everywhere, people are everywhere. But the weather is good. The weather in the spring is nice and fresh, upwards of 75 degrees Fahrenheit to the lowest being 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The meeting etiquette. I say time is of the essence because the Chinese put a large amount of importance on time. It shows how much you care about the meeting and how much you care about the person you are meeting. So it is not uncommon for those attending to show an hour early. It just shows importance. And when introducing yourself, you use your full name, and if it's a business case like our case, then you have to include your job title. And when you are in the meeting, it is good to nod and indicate their agreement. It is a sign that you have acknowledged what they have said. Male should be introduced to the females first. And what you should also expect is to be asked invasive questions like what your marital status is, about your family. They're just trying to establish a common ground. And they love using business cards. The Chinese value them a lot. It is common courtesy to hold them with two hands because it shows respect to the person. The social aspects of business. This is if the business meeting happens to be over a meal. It is polite to sample all the dishes, but don't clear your plate. A small amount should be left on the plate to demonstrate the generosity of your host. You shouldn't always finish your meals. Even doesn't matter how good it tastes or how much or how hungry you are, you should leave a little bit. And do not pull small bones in your bowl or elsewhere. Instead, you should use a tissue or your hand to place them in a small plate provided. And then if you are going to use chopsticks, don't place them upright in your bowl because it symbolizes death and you don't want to do that in front of those people that you're having a meeting with. And if you are going to receive the gift, if the gift happens to be wrapped, it is better that you wait till you leave the meeting to open it because it's just being polite. You don't want to open the present in front of them. And there is some other key aspects. When you are giving or receiving an item, you should always use your both hands. It just shows respect to the person. Everything is about respect in China. And the more you respect the people, the more the person will like you. That's why it says here, be as polite as you can. If you are polite, the people will like you, and if they like you, they will most likely want to be dealing with you as a person. They um they like being on a personal level with you. It doesn't matter if you like it doesn't matter if whatever you're saying to them in a meeting is good to them. Maybe even if you are saying a bunch of good stuff about the meeting or like the business plan or whatever, let's say they do like it, but if you're not a good person and you don't respect their customs and beliefs, then they may not want to deal with you. That's why it's good to be as polite as you can. And it is considered rude if you brag about yourself, so try not to brag about yourself. and the deal will most likely be good, and you will be dealing with the Chinese. And that is it for my presentation.